Well, hello there and welcome to episode 4 of my participation in the Jurgen Zoller Honorary Challenge Cup. Now then, I've actually managed to bend some wood. And you will know if you've been following this series, I've had a little bit of trouble with this. But anyway, I've got some bent wood. I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to fix it to this block at the front there. Now while I'm doing that, why don't I just have a quick recap of how far I've got in this project so far. I am building a bass guitar, sort of in the style of the Fender jazz bass, but with some key differences. Okay, so let's have a look at the lower half of this guitar first. Now then, the plan is to run the ribs here into the side there, and it's going to come in probably about there and, well, go along the front there, so it's got something to grip onto. What I can't decide at the moment is if it's going to be a straight line on the edge there, or whether I'm going to do something a bit fancy with it. Now then, if we look at the top end, in this case, the ribs are going to come in and join up about there. Now then, I, in a way, should have left a little bit more material up there, so if I wanted to do something fancy with it, I could have done it, but I haven't left enough material. So I think it's going to have to just be a straight line across there. Although I think I'm going to add a decoration, some sort of inlay on that joint, which might look quite nice. Don't think I can do anything else with that. And to be perfectly honest with you, having tried to bend loads of pieces of wood, I think I've got to the point now where this one's going to do. And it's looking pretty good, to be honest with you. So let's get it marked up, and I'm going to have to chisel a bit out of here for this to fit into. Okay, I'm going to use this Japanese pull saw just to cut a slot in the front there. Make sure that is actually square. Would help. To be honest, this is a bit of a fiddle. I'm actually just wondering whether it would be better to take a bit of it off with this Shinto rasp saw. Actually, I think I'm going to turn this workpiece round because you're going to see the bottom of this wood, but you're not going to see the top. So if I turn it round, if I do get any chip out on the top there, it's not going to show because it's going to be hidden under the top. This actually is doing the job. One problem with my workshop is that the light behind the workpiece on this vise isn't very good. So I've got a bulb there now, so I can see what I'm doing, and I can see that I've taken more off the back than I have the front. So let's try and level this up. It's looking reasonably good. I've got a little bit of a chip out there, but otherwise it's not looking too bad. Excuse me, there's sneeze. Oh, oh, chew, excuse me. Right, it's looking pretty good. A little bit more off. Right, I've smoothed that off a bit. Obviously, the problem here, if it's a problem, I don't know if it's a problem or not, but artistically, you can imagine you're going to have the back, which is going to be inset inside these ribs, coming up to there to a nice point, and then you've got this rather squared joint here, and I'm just wondering whether I can soften it a bit by making this come up to a sort of a point here, sort of angle that down a bit. Not making myself very clear, but sort of draw a line like that. So it just angles down a little bit, sort of comes back up to a point here. Decisions. I think I'm going to have a go at that, because it's going to look a bit funny just squared off. First off, I'm going to shape the end of this piece. Get it on the right side. Right, well, I've been going at this for quite a while. I think I've probably got there now. So what I'm going to do is glue this bit in place. I'm just going to leave about a millimetre hanging below the mahogany there. Yeah, okay, so let's get some clamps and see if we can clamp that in place. Okay, so that glue up clearly wasn't going to work, so I've got myself some clamping cauls in the right places now. I've got another clamp, a small clamp, which I think is going to do the job. Just make sure I've got plenty of glue on this. I'll have to clean it off afterwards. This is the important bit. problem I've got is that as I squeeze that in, that's going to move down. I don't really want it to. This is the important side. There's a little gap there which I'm going to have to fill afterwards, but otherwise it's pretty good. And on the top here I'm going to just have to put some sort of inlay to cover up that join. But anyway, let's leave this to set and see what happens. Right, well, I'm back in the workshop and this piece has glued on and it looks pretty good. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. So I need to glue the tail piece now. I do realise that what I should have done, of course, was chisel out the piece on this side while I had it all sort of bare. But yeah, really wanted to get on, and it's going to be a bit of a fiddle grip in it when I do the other side, but never mind, let's move on and get this glued. Right, now then, what I've got is this tail piece, and what I'm going to do is just pull that round until it feels just about right. What I like about these sort of guitars is they don't necessarily follow the plan, but that doesn't matter. I've got this rather nice organic look, so I'm quite happy with that. And what I'm going to do is glue half of this, and then I'll saw it in half here and fit the rest when we come to it. Now then, I've got a couple of pieces of wood and some flooring there just to give me some height so that I can get the right height here. This back piece here, the ribs will be flush with the tail piece once I've sanded it all down, but for now I'm just quite happy to leave a little piece at the top. I just need to make sure there's enough for the ash at the back. That looks pretty good. Let's get a couple of clamps. I think that's going to be okay for the glue. Let's give it a bit more down there. Okay, so I'm going to rest that on there, and I just want to pull this over till it feels about right. I think that's going to be okay. And let's get these clamps off. See what we've got. We have one half of the guitar already done. Okay, so let's work on the other half now. And this is where we need to do a little bit of jiggery pokery. Right, I've got a nice curve there where this meets the neck block. So it'd be really nice to keep that curve. Just to know where to join it in then. I think I'm going to have to come a little bit further forward there, and again it's just going to be a straight line. I don't think I'm going to do anything clever with this. Put perhaps some sort of inlay on it at the end. So let's take it up to about there, and I'm going to just mark on the back the thickness of that. Just get a straight line down the side here. Some light on the subject. it across here. Try and cut it square with the angle there. Oh dear. Before I go any further, I'm going to have to cut this other piece. So I need to get a line drawn across. It's all a bit shaky, Dave. Okay, moment of truth. That slots into there, and it goes round to there. I think it's going to do it. Let's prop this up again. So it's going to be a glue up in two halves. I'm going to get this glued up first of all, and then I'll tackle the other side. Right, let's fathom out how to clamp this then. I think this little clamp may be the answer, and just wondering if this piece of wood here will do the job on the inside. Okay, let's see if we can do this. First of all, clamp that down so it doesn't want to move. Secondly, clamp this down. And in actual fact, clamp it down just about there. And that end piece is going to get in the way, so I'm going to saw that off. Just going to put some masking tape on this piece of wood so it doesn't stick to it. That's pretty well clamped there. Just thinking perhaps I can get this fitted as well. Right, well, there's nothing more I can do tonight. Let's see what it looks like in the morning. Right then, let's get these clamps off. And well, here we have a guitar. Okay, well, I do feel like I'm making progress here. That's pretty good. It's stuck pretty well. I am going to have to do some filling with dust and glue on the back there. It's not the prettiest of joins, but I don't think it's too bad. And yeah, I think it's going to be okay once we've got everything in place. Well, this has been another long video. Thank you very much for watching again. Thank you for all your comments as usual, greatly appreciated. This guitar is coming on. In the next episode I hope to be putting that back piece in, and I've got some ideas about how I can do some binding with that. Also need to sort out the linings or the kerfing. I think it's going to have to be linings. I want it to be a little bit stronger than perhaps kerfing would be. But yeah, we'll see. So I hope you'll join me for that. In the meantime, stay safe and I'll see you in a couple of weeks. Cheers.